Stevie, let's look back at Saturday's game against Wraith Rovers to begin with. In the end, did you feel it was a point gained after being 2-0 down with only about 20 minutes to go in the game?
Well, it's something we certainly hadn't worked on, Jordan, in the week to go 2 goals down. It's still, it still plays away with my head that I was no longer into my management career here, and you look back at that 3-0 defeat in the Scottish Cup, which, it hurt. And to find myself standing on the sideline on Saturday, 2 goals down after such a good start to the season, it wasn't a nice feeling. But we went in at half time, obviously a goal behind, and probably Wraith deserved to be ahead at that stage in the game. Not questioning for any manner of means my players' work rate or their attitude to the game, but Wraith Rovers did have an edge on it the first half. Second half, I thought we were a better side. We lost a bad goal, at a time when we just changed to maybe just 5 minutes previous to a 4-3-3 formation to try and get us in the game with playing our 2 wider players higher and wider. We lost a goal, so we introduced Kevin O'Hara to get him up front with Declan, and as I say, we scored 2 very good goals to get us back in the game. And in the end, we tried to go and win all 3 points, but a good advert for Scottish Championship.
I felt that Wraith Rovers didn't really cut through us that much, but it was obviously 2 set pieces that kind of allowed them to get their goals. Is that the frustrating thing, that it was maybe 2 goals that maybe could have been easily avoidable?
I don't know if easily avoidable is the right thing, because teams are always going to come up with their own, the work that they do on the training ground. But it was disappointing to lose 2 goals, and it's something that we can, we've now had a wee kick up the backside, and we can work on that in the training ground this week. Probably for the first time this season, if we look back at it, we've been successful in the opposition box from set plays, and equally we've defended these situations. So they're also reversed at the weekend. Again, to a man, to give them credit is we didn't buckle, we didn't go under, we didn't feel sorry for ourselves, and we found a way of taking something from the game. And as you rightly say, at 2-0 we would have accepted 2 each to make sure that we take a point and go back along East End and look forward to Saturday's game now against Morton.
When you look at the substitutions that you were made, you were positive in the changes, especially by bringing Kevin O'Hara on for Kerr McInroy and pushing that extra forward up front. I suppose it must be one of those situations where Wraith Rovers maybe find it difficult with an extra attacker coming on, just trying to find their feet and readjust, and we took advantage of that.
Yeah, we did, and as I say, again it goes down to credit of what we've got with boys that aren't starting the game, that we had options, and we did try to go with a 4-3-3 with playing Kerr just underneath Kyle Turner and Ryan Dow, Dom Thomas up higher on the right, and Fraser Murray high up in the left with Declan through the middle. As I say, at that point in the game we then lost the second goal, and I felt it was right, and along with, again, discussions with my coaching staff, we had to introduce Kevin O'Hara to give Declan some support through the middle. It was a calculated gamble, because putting Ryan Dow into the middle of the park with Kyle Turner, where Ryan's not a natural central midfield player, but we knew that with his experience and he'd want to get on the ball, that he would give us that guile going forward. And as we say, you end up with 6 very attacking minded players on the park at that moment, and they 6 were able to show their qualities, because I thought the goals we scored were terrific to get us back into the match.
Our goals throughout the season have been spread throughout the team, whether it be Paul Watson or Ewan Murray at the back, through the midfield and into Declan and Kevin O'Hara up front. What else has been noticeable is the variety in the play. For example, Ryan Dow and Dom Thomas switching wings on Saturday, or Ryan Dow going into the centre of the park and looking like they could adjust to those positions quite comfortably and not upset the rhythm of the team. Again, that must please you.
Yeah, but then it's no selfishness from any given player. I've got a squad of boys again that I've got to compliment them on. There's some guys being asked to play 2, 3, 4 positions this season, and every time they do it to the best of their ability, because they want Dunfermline to do well. And I think that's shone through on Saturday. When you go 2-0 down in the derby, and you've still got boys hungry to go on and do well, and it's a credit to them. Good footballers. I'm always reminded, I think back to Jimmy Nicholl when my younger days learning the game. Jimmy Nicholl says good football players can play anywhere on the park, you know, but you've got to have that heart that you want to win games of football as well. And as I say, it's not a coincidence that we've come from 2 goals down against Clyde this year, and now 2 goals down against Wraith Rovers, that we've managed to take positive results from these games.
Morton at East End Park this Saturday, and they have players that we'll know very well. Dunfermline supporters will know well from facing us or having been here at East End Park as well. So you'll know David Hopkin as well, and the way he likes to set up his team. So it's a game where I'm sure you and your coaching staff know what to expect, and it's just about making sure that the players are organised to deal with that. Yeah,
and it's the focus now. What's done is done behind us. And very much focusing on the next game, and the Morton one's going to be a very difficult one. I've seen them play against Arbroath a couple of weeks ago. They were very rigid, they were well set up, well organised, as David Hopkins' teams are. He's got the experience, obviously. Each time he won promotion out this league with Livingston, there'll be physical challenges up against them, and you know, it'll be a very, very tough game. I've watched the whole game back last night in terms of watching them against Hearts, and it was the same shape that they set up against Arbroath when I seen them. So they've got a way in that they're playing at the moment, and we've got to work on the training ground to try and overcome that this week.
When you look at the run that we've been on at the minute, 11 unbeaten in all competitions, 9 wins, 2 draws, you want to keep that momentum going. As you've touched on, how important is it that, especially here at East End Park, we keep that run going, make East End Park the fortress that it once was and it currently is at this period?
I think even when you mention figures like that though, and I'm always one saying that you can use stats in your favour or stats go against you, but we are on a good run, you know, and that's the exciting thing, and it'll be exciting for the fans looking in, you know, from the outside at the moment, because as I say, winning games of football puts smiles on faces, but we've just got to make sure that we know the challenges are going to get tougher. You know, when you play and you're on a good run of form, teams want to come and take that form away from you. So that's something that Morton will come here. It's never, again I've said it, it's never a given that you can win any game in the Championship, and we've got to be mindful that Morton will come here. We had 3 competitive games against them last season. I think we lost one and won one and drew one. So as I say, they're never easy games against Morton, but one that we're looking forward with the form that we're in to try and take all 3 points.
Just Lewis Martin and Stephen Whittaker that we're missing on Saturday, how are their progressions coming along with their injuries?
Yeah, Lewis Martin again, you know, he's going to be a longer term one. So in regards to Stephen Whittaker's done, he's back running, his hamstring injury that he's had. And we're not ruling him out for Saturday, but we've just got to be mindful that we've got 5 big games coming up between now and the turn of the year. So Stephen knows his own body, working alongside Jamie as well. We'll see where he's at, so fingers crossed he'll be back soon.